This cornucopia is actually made from Victorian birch that I attached, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. But this is actually 2 bunches of Victorian birch to make this great cornucopia, and it just comes all the way down the Horn of Plenty and curls right back into itself. So you can see we've got lots of room, and I can't wait to fill it up. But first I want to show you how to do the assembly of that. You're going to start with the Victorian birch, and it's got to be just super fresh and very easy to bend. And you're going to make a circle, which will be the opening of your horn. So you just kind of have to work with it in your hand, and if the pieces they don't want to bend, you can go and just clip off those pieces that are a little too thick. You don't want to snap it, so you can clip those off and just give them a good bend. There's going to be a little bit of shed, but not too bad. And the way I attach this is with a really unique mechanic. This is something that pig farmers use to keep the pigs from rooting in the ground. And it's actually rings that they put in the hog's nose. So this is a Hognose Ringer, and you can get these online if you don't live in a rural area, but this just holds those rings really nice. It looks just like a plier, but it holds them. There's just a little indentation. And so then whatever you want to crimp together, you just give it a pinch, and it goes on that quickly and that easily. So it's a great way to make garlands. It's a super quick mechanic. I know some people aren't strong enough to use Oasis wire, or they can't get that exactly to work how they want to. So this works great. And these come in different sizes. Just depends on if you're making an arbor or what your technique is that you're using. But the application, it's super secure and really easy to do. And even if you don't have a lot of strength in your hands, it holds really nice and tight. These little pieces that are sticking out, we're just going to weave those in and give those another crimp. And the best way to do that is just to load it right in there, and it sits really nicely. And then you can just squeeze it, and it crimps really nice. These other ones we're just going to weave and tuck right through. And if they get too unruly, we can just trim them off. Now this is a really small circle for this wreath. So what you want to do when you make the cornucopia is you want to make one that's pretty good size, the circle, and then one that's a little bit smaller. And then you can just keep building on that. So when you're making your circles, it's really important to make your largest one, which will be the outside, and then your smaller one, which will be the inside. So that's my smaller one that I just made. This is going to be the larger one. And you can see it goes together really simply and quickly and securely. You don't have to mess with a whole entire roll of Oasis wire. These just go together really quick, and sometimes you can't get it tight enough. If you really want your mechanic secure, some people just don't have the strength in their hands to make that happen. But with this handy little tool, you can do that. And this little piece that's just sticking out, I don't really like that. So I'm going to cut him off so that it stays more circular. So you can see one is slightly larger than the other. So with my larger one, I'm going to beef that up just a little bit and cut off the thicker part that doesn't bend as easily. And just kind of, with the warmth of my hand, just make this just a little bit thicker, a little more solid, because this is going to be the outer rim of our cornucopia. So once you have a completed circle, then you're going to add the pieces that become the tail and the length of your cornucopia. So the way that you're going to do that is by taking just a couple of the Victorian birch, and you're going to attach it, just to give a little bit of a tail, probably about 6 or 7 inches off the edge of your rim. And you're going to load up your little hog ringer and crimp that right into your larger ring. So essentially it's just going to hang down like that. And then about every 4 or 5 inches, you're going to do the same thing. So you grab another couple of branches and pinch them together and just go down from the ring just a little bit, probably 8 inches we'll say. And you're going to crimp it again. And you continue that process all the way around until you have all of these little pieces that are hanging. So you can take a couple pieces and just come down another 6 inches or so. And then you're just going to crimp that right on there. This is a great way to build armatures, other things besides cornucopias, whatever you're doing. You can build trellises and walls and huppas, so many different things using that same mechanic. So you get the idea that you're just attaching those all the way around, all the way around. Then once you've gone completely around, you're going to come and do the same thing as your cornucopia gets smaller and attach those pieces just like we did the pieces at the top. So, and then at the end, you're going to pinch it all and essentially make a ponytail just like we did on this cornucopia. So that's the technique and that's the start of it. So you just keep doing that over and over again until you have a nice big cornucopia that we're going to fill with wonderful fall product.